awareness. Yeah. Easily to be looked over, but you'll always have it on your shoes. All right. Well, I guess we'll start. What happened to Chris? I don't see him here today. Hmm. Well, if there's anybody new here, uh, if you if you have a question you'd like to ask or anything, just let us know. Oh, Laurie came back. She's on I guess we have a group of asteroids and comets that come every few years. They come into our orbit. Yes. Thank you, Laurie. Ole, Hiram. Hiram, he got stopped by immigration. Hiram got deported back to Germany. Yeah. Yeah. He was looking at Tesla in a strange way. They arrested him. It's okay, bro. We have a set of lawyers to help you. Yeah. It's based on how much you've donated over the year. Oops, you're out of luck here. You're out of luck. You got to get the public defender. Yes. uh, well, welcome everyone. Laurie, nothing's changed since you were last here, except maybe your hair got a little longer and stuff. Yeah. No, I don't know who this one is. Yeah. Doesn't have her whereabouts on. Mr. Mueller and Graham. Graham, are you still in India? I can't hear you, so.
No, back home now.
Oh, you're back home. All right. Great. You had a good, nice time there.
Yeah, survived.
You survived. Yeah. Yeah. Well, then you have to go back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Angelica. Gee. Do you have any questions, Angelica? No? David Lowe. You have a question, David? No. Stephen, don't get scared. There's not going to be a punishment. No punishment for a question.
I think I'll probably remember as we go.
All right, all right. We got Nick. No, we don't listen. No. Yeah. 12 years of donating, it's added up to $11.50. You have you have nothing to stand on with your question. So sit back and there's some people when we start passing the basket, they immediately have to go to the bathroom. I noticed it, eh? And I always bring up that song that's on the donation page, and they don't have any idea of it because they've never been on the donation page. It's okay. Yeah. Whatever happened to the idea of tithing? All right. Well, it's nice to see everybody. Again, I can only so let's say without anything you having anything to do with it, when you're placed on the game board, you're facing the wrong way, let's say. Yep. And so all that we can do is just come and say you're facing the wrong way or you're not that which is facing the wrong way. And then blue will be blue and red will be red and the horse will be before the cart. And then the habit, will probably kick in. And then what you think is you will be facing the other way and we'll go there. And you feel like you've been put to face the correct way. But basically, after a while, you realize that thing is always looking the other way. Yeah. And you don't even pay much attention anymore because it's not you. So this is a very disarming message. If you start feeling that you have to do more or get armed or ready, that's not you. Yeah. That's the propaganda station of the head. Yeah. Just be still, like Ramana said, supposedly. I don't know what he meant by it. But they basically said, what's the only requirement really is to be still. And you already are. So that's you've met it, you met them all. And then as the thing we've been using a lot, this is I found my only spiritual manuscript from Zen Bitch Slap. I found it under the bed. I think the cat was reading it. I don't know, man. So, and in this, it's very beautiful. This is supposedly from Ramana Maharshi. It is false to speak of realization. It is false. Yeah. What is there to realize? These all have question marks. Some of them do. The real is as it is always. Yeah. So when you say the real is as it is always, and then there's a movement of something trying to align with that, that is not you. Yeah. These statements, I humbly believe, are really meant to watch what moves when that statement is claimed. Yeah. When the system hears these statements, it moves. And at that moment, you're still and you can see what you're not moving. So when it says here, if we were sitting in a group and we went, the real is as it is always, yeah, there would be a movement. You wouldn't move what you are. You would be like in alignment, but something would move to either interpret that statement or do something, deflect it, move, and then that which is moving is not you. Yeah. The movement isn't the legs or the arms, it's in the head. Yeah. So something says, just like when I went into recovery, there was a statement, you will cease fighting everyone or anything. When I heard that, the head saw that as an order. The head was like, fuck, I gotta stop fate. I have to accept everyone and everything, which seemed like an impossibility. The value of the statement was to see the reaction to it. Yeah. Because there's a response in us, which would be like, be still or disarmed or completely chilled, and something isn't. And that's something that gets excited or gets moved or thinks it has to do something about it is what you're not. And now you finally get a free sample of seeing the movement of what you're not from what you are. So from the stillness, you see the agitation. Yeah. And with this understanding, with that one, that it's happening all the time, with that example, the principle is always, it's just a repeating of the same principle. You're not that. Yeah. So you sit here. You can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. Watch what reacts to that. Because what reacts to it is not the Buddha. Yeah. So when something that's not the Buddha hears you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha, there's a little bit of guilt. There's a little, because that's exactly what it has been doing, and you're not it. You see, you don't, a forensic autopsy doesn't work. Yeah. You have to see the movement in the present moment. You don't have to, but this is where there's so much revealed there. When it comes out of the oven and it's been sitting around for a few weeks, it's neutered. Your head has already adopted to it and made that idea of a solution part of the problem. Yeah. But if you can see what reacts to the message and see that that is not you, you now start seeing from another perch. Yeah. That perch actually where you have never left from. Yeah. It's just that in time, we have been moved by that first movement. Yeah. And this is why you hear the message, watch the first reaction. Yeah. When you see the first reaction, there'll be another reaction. That's the second reaction. That's not two. Basically, that's it. Yeah. Something says, all right, I'm going to stop using the Buddha. Yeah, that's the first reaction. Yeah. And then something says, oh, I'm seeing that saying, I'm not going to use the Buddha. That's the second move. Yeah. So luckily, this is not 58. So there's not like you see it, then there got to be a new, you got to negate that, and then you got to negate the reaction to that, and then you have to negate 56 other times. No, it's not two. Yeah. You hear the message. The seeker is the sought. Wow. What does it trigger? All this are memories of seeking and all the sorts. Yeah. And the idea that all the seeking and all the sorts were secondary to the seeker. Yeah. And now you see the emperor with no clothes. There's a reaction to it. Yeah. That reaction is what you're not. And then the reaction to that is what you're not. And that's not two. You can say not two as subject object or not two as the polarity or duality, but in the moment, not two is that. Yeah. So you hear something like events happen, deeds are done. As a doer, you're very familiar with that. You feel like you're at an event right now. Yeah. And there were deeds done. We brought chairs in and shit like that. Yeah. But it's not prepared to hear the next part, which is, and yet there's no individual doer thereof. Yeah. So it's very familiar with events happen, deeds are done. Oh, yeah, this is just another event, and I'll be doing a lot of deeds at this event. Yeah. And the system is very familiar with that, goes along with it. But it's not familiar with the negation, which is, and there's no individual doer thereof. Boom. Watch what happens. You sit there, you're still because the message stills you. You get a sense of it, really. You're already still, but there's a pause. Pause. This is the language of pause. Yeah. You hear these cryptic little statements and something stops, and then you see the reaction from being stopped of what you're not. And instead of reading and chanting you're not that, you see it. You see the action of how what you're not keeps repeating itself. Yes? And it has one trick, which is it's willing for you to see that, but it doesn't want you to see that you are now taking yourself to be the seer of that. And so if you step back one more step and you see that which says it saw the first reaction, yeah, is the same thing that promoted that first reaction is also the second reaction. And then there's calm. Yeah, and there you are. You've now seen your original face, so to speak, which is no face. Yeah. And so you hear another thing. Whatever can be perceived cannot be that which is perceiving. Watch what happens. So one aspect goes, ooh, the other's aspect gets agitated. Yeah. And it goes, all right, it reacts to that. What is it? And usually it's like a purple cloud from the octopus. What's, can you explain whatever can be perceived cannot be? It's pretty, in a way, if you were ungarbed mentally, it would hit you easily. Whatever can be perceived, which you're perceiving things right now, yes, cannot be that which is perceiving. Okay. Then you watch the head's reaction. And then in the head reaction, it comes from the same understanding, which is that which is perceived is what's perceiving. The negation of the whole value of the system in one fell swoop. Yeah. You hear the message, whatever can be perceived cannot be that which is perceiving. You are in a state of perceiving right now. Yeah. There's a noticing of that. There's an awareness that there is perception. Yeah. All right. So whatever can be perceived cannot be that which is perceiving. So it's awareness that's perceiving, literally, through this action figure. Yeah. It's not the action figure. Yeah. Bammo. Okay. The head hears that. It moves. It's like if you were on a high stake gambling table and you see that what the clues or the gives that people do when they got a good hand, they may go like this. You remember that they had it in that movie Casino Royale with James Bond, the tell. So there's a tell. Well, this is the thing. armed with this non-duality understanding, there'll be a tell. There'll be a reaction from what you're not. It's so beautiful. And then you're there still, paused, what you're not reacts. Yeah. And then there's a seeing of that, and then you watch it claim to be the seer of it. Yeah. So you catch the object of the self and the subject of the self, not two. Yeah. As an event in your own life. You can read tons of books, but the best book to read is you. Yeah. Because that which is said will be seen to be true in your own mechanics. Yeah. It's just that all the evidence could have brought us to a conclusion, but that which showed up doesn't want to go to that conclusion. It wants to start at a conclusion. So it's all confirmation bias. It doesn't want to arrive at a conclusion. It wants to believe where it starts, which is you as a long-lasting, independent, separate entity, a thing, that conclusion, and then it's all trying to confirm that bias. Yeah. But no, now you're in a state of don't know, which you're open to, and then you're led to the conclusion that you're not that. Yes. Whack. How many whacks? I don't know. You may like wax. That's fine. You can become it. You can, it's like a fetish. Great. Go to tons of different satsang and get whacked. But at the same time, it can be enjoyed that way. It can lead to the recognition of be still, not as an order or as a condition another condition has to adopt, but that it's your own case. Yes. That all this movement to be still was just more movement. Yeah. Be still is not an order. It's not a trick. It's not a yogic posture that you can practice. It's the fact. Yeah. So you see that which doesn't see it as a fact as now not a fact. Yeah. So the confirmation bias is another way to see it in glorious neon of what you're not, because the system, the Course in Miracles captures it so beautifully. The brain interprets to the body of which it is a part. It's a beautiful statement. Yeah. The brain interprets to the body of which it is a part. Well, are you going to go on a giant crusade to change the fucking brain? Or are you just going to respond to the truth of that? Yeah. The brain, it just does that on Wednesdays and Thursdays. That's when it interpret. No, that's what it does. The system interprets everything to support the system. When you look through a self-centered lens, you see everything as how it pertains to you, the you that you're not. Yeah. Why? If it's not you that failed, just tell the truth about the failure of it. The problem is it presents it to be you, and therefore you don't want to see its failure because it means it's your failure. Yeah. And then you're in a cognitive dissonance. You want to get free from something, but you believe it has to be free as the something. Yeah. And that's bondage. So these cryptic statements are meant to do just that. The system is merrily, just rolling down the thing. Yes. Just paddling, da 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 da. You want to, it's like a juggler who juggles 3 balls. You want to throw the 4th ball in. Yeah. See if it can adapt to 4, and then you'll see the fallacy or the failure of it, because it can. Yes. So it's like, all right, watch what happens if I give it this. There's going to be reaction. You're not that. There's going to be a claiming of the reaction to that. You're not that. There you go. Yeah. So what's looking is what you're looking for. To the head, obviously not, because it's busy looking for tons of shit. So what's looking is what you're looking for. Oh, give me a break. Yeah. So you've watched the first reaction. Yeah. What's looking is what you're looking for. First reaction. Me? Is that what I'm looking for? Because I'm definitely what's looking. No. You're like an emblem on a car that has nothing to do with the driving of the car. It's just an emblem. Yeah. So you see something. What do you see? You see the movement of what you're not that used to call your own movements. Yeah. You finally see something and don't own it. Yeah. And there's a lot of revelation in that. And then that be still isn't a place that you try to arrive at. It's what greets every place and condition you're ever in. Your inherent nature is still. The mental nature is agitated. Yeah. Why try to make the mental nature unagitated if that's its nature? Yeah. It's like painting, putting lips on a pig or legs on a snake. That's the absurdity of it. Yeah. Recognize the value of seeing it as failed. Yeah. So that if you hear the message, you're riding a dead horse and you keep riding it, you didn't hear the message. Yeah. The message has a reaction to the message that you would get up from the dead horse. You wouldn't keep riding the dead horse if you were told that it was a dead horse and you had a sense, oh, I knew something was fucking wrong. Why wasn't I going there? But I bought that new saddle. You know what I mean? I've got all this feed. I, I wanted to keep feeding the horse. I got a lot invested in the horse. It's not you. The horse is dead. Okay, what do? Get up. Wow, that's an incredible spiritual move. No, it isn't. It's just appropriate to the situation. Dead horse. Before you go off, is it dead? Just let it hit you and step off. Yeah. And I'll tell you, when you put your foot out in that space, a stair will appear. Yes. And you will realize what something was telling you has no certainty, has the most certainty. Yeah. 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 So I'm going to read the end of this one. This is saving my ass. It is false to speak of realization. What is there to realize? If you are already realized, wouldn't it be redundant to keep realizing that? Well, why don't we just move on? Yeah. The real is as it is always. So they just took out time in this whole thing. Just said always is pretty comprehensive, yes? Is there any moment that escapes the statement of always? No. So let's put time away. So the real is as it is always. How to realize it? Question mark. Yeah. All that is required is this. So let's go. All that is required is this. What is this? We have realized the unreal. Yeah. And we're warning you about it because the unreal is going to be unreal twice, saying it's real. When the first false real gets caught, it's going to say it's the real second false real that now sees the first false. Yes, real. Yeah. So now you have the movement of non-duality, not as a plate tectonic thing and day and night, male, female duality, but a duality of this event. Yeah. A two-ness. Yeah. Life happens. There's a reaction. There's a response to life. Yeah. There's a reaction to life. The reaction to life implies that it's you that reacted to that life. Yeah. And then there's usually a reaction to the reaction, and that's where it plays judge and critiques and all this bullshit. Yes? And basically, you start living, as they say in the Course in Miracles, you see only the past. Yeah? So we have a word in a killer in recovery, which is resentment. And when you break the word down from its root, means to do over, and senteri is to feel. So a resentment is you feel something. Yeah. This is what mental anxiety does. Mental anxiety triggers fear by imagining a point in this action figure's life that it got scared. It revisits that, but there's no apparent threat. You're not in the water, the shark isn't there, yet you're acting as if you're in the water and you're going to get bit by the shark. That's mental anxiety. Mental anxiety triggering fear, and only through faith. Yeah. If you believe in the thoughts can make a world for you. If you don't believe in the thoughts, you're before the thoughts. If you believe the thoughts, you're going to be effect after the thoughts. If you see that you're not the thinker, you're before the thoughts. Yeah. And there's a built-in immunity before that you're never going to claim after. Yeah. When you give it a meaning as being yours, it opens up for you to be owned by it. Yeah. So thinking, my thoughts, boom. Yeah. So we have realized the unreal. Basically, he goes, regarded as the real, that which is unreal. That's the activity of the head. Yeah. The head is regarding the unreal as real. That's the only requirement necessary, is to see it from the real. So instead of trying to, that which is seeing the real as unreal, why would you want to spend any time changing that? Just see it as not you. Yeah. This is what happens. The programming just reveals itself, and people have this strange idea they can change the programming. That's part of the fucking programming. Yeah. Just like, when you were young and you rebelled against something, you thought you were apart from there. But every system has rebellion against it as part of it. Yes? There's no out in the in. Yeah. Your wanting to get out is the biggest in. That's why the Who said the new boss is same as the old boss. Just goes on and on. Yeah. So what's going on? We're regarding the unreal as real. Yeah, we have now fulfilled the only requirement necessary, which is we have realized the unreal. There you go. Yeah. Now, what is the unreal going to tell you all day? That it's unreal. You're going to have plenty of it all day, every day. You don't have to ask to be taught. It's built in. You're going to look at it like you used to, but before you've jumped into a conclusion, which was confirmed, which was bias, you're going to have an open mind and you're going to learn. And you're going to learn a whole lot. And I humbly believe it's going to bring you to certain points of stillness around topics. I have been completely still in spiritual seeking for 20-something more years. I have not made one move in spirituality to seek anything. I can't even, I have no memory of it. I heard this thing. It was such a complete thing. It just froze it looked like a lifelong drive, which was put to an end. And all that interest and attention that was going to be going down that rabbit hole has been enjoying hummingbirds right now. Yeah. And hearing the dog be happy with this freaking bone that hasn't had meat on it for years, but it just keeps chewing. I don't know what it is now. Rock. It's chewing. Oh, he's chewing the Buddha. Oh, I said you shoot the Buddha when you see it. I didn't say you chew the Buddha. Hold on, honey. I gotta save the Buddha. No, this is no good. Here. Oh, see, the dog's understanding wasn't perfectly clear. Instead of shooting the Buddha, it chewed the Buddha. Well, look at it. Wait a minute. Like, oh, you can't see it. Here you go. Let me get this up. Oh, now she's still looking at the Buddha. She looks as if she's yeah. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta do it this way.
He's a true seeker.
There's the Buddha. Oh, yes. She got his left leg there. Yeah. He's go on. As Jesus said, forgive them, Father. It does not know what it does. Get out of here. He got a black eye. He's got only one eye now. Somehow it got the eye of the Buddha. Oh, wow. I'm going to put this in my pocket. Yeah. So let me finish the last knockout. Let's go back to the other one. There is no greater mystery. Hey, I've been sharing for 30 years. I've run out. I'm coming. This is the last parking space. You're going to hear this for a couple of years from now on. I think. It condensed everything that was ever said. The best I feel, the best, this is the best presentation I can come up with. Yeah. There is no greater mystery than this. That's a pretty high level of mystery, right? No greater mystery than this. That being ourselves reality, that which says you don't believe that. What you're not does not believe you're being yourself reality. You believe there's a reality that's different than this reality. So when you hear being ourselves reality, again, something is going to move, and that's not you. Yeah, this is the beautiful thing. It's like if you had, you know, that guy, remember that show, they'd have three people, who's who, and they'd ask questions. This is sort of like it, the non-duality understanding. You're all sitting there in your still spiritual pose, and then you ask these questions. The seeker is the sought, and there's a little twitch. And then you see what you're not, move. Because see, this what you're not's always going to move. If you can just sit there, whatever can be perceived cannot be perceiving. It's going to move. It's going to feel the urge to do something, to say something, to try to understand something. It can't stop. That doesn't imply you. It's not ability to stop doesn't imply that you don't have that ability. You are stopped. Yeah. So, all right. There is no greater mystery than this, that being the reality ourselves, we seek to gain reality. We think that there is something binding our reality. What's that? What is it that you think is binding the reality right now? Is it the tree, the walnut tree? Is it any tree here? Is that stopping you? Is it the sidewalk, the grass? The grass is getting in your way, slowing your spiritual path down. Growing needs to be mowed. What is it? Seriously. The head, he's not talking about you. This is the conclusion the head will come to when it's confronted with being ourselves reality. We think, that's not you thinking, the system, that there is something binding our reality because we just don't fucking feel it, do we? You would feel that if I was reality, I would be seeing things differently. Don't you feel? What is it that you believe or wish for if you were reality? What would you wish for that you don't feel you have now? Ease, maybe. Ease and comfort in that which is real, but you're not that. That which wants ease and comfort, you're not that. There's nothing wrong with that drive, except making it a lifelong crusade. Yeah. So that there is something, it's called always, we think, always precedes it all. Always. Yeah. We get confused by this statement, being ourselves reality. We think, that's the reaction you want to watch, that there is something binding our reality. And you know what? If you follow that thing, you're going to be the obstacle. Logically, your head is going to go to you, that you are the one that's blocking the reality. And then it makes an unlivable condition. It says, if you want to know reality, you have to be completely destroyed because you're the obstacle to knowing reality. Yeah. And this is why spiritual programs present, it could take lifetimes because you're going to slow roll it after when your head hears that attaining reality equals complete obliteration as Paul, hey, let's just go to another satsang with another person, and on and on. Yes, there's going to be a cognitive dissonance in place where something in you will go, I'm really open to it, and something is sucking you back. So he goes, that thinking that there is something binding our reality and that it must be destroyed before the reality is gained, it is ridiculous. Yeah. A day will dawn when we will ourselves laugh at our own efforts. Isn't that the relief in satsang and non-duality? Is you laugh because you realize they weren't your efforts. You laugh at the efforts of something that can never get something in the attempt of trying to get it. You laugh at it. Yeah, it's not like, oh, that sucked. I missed it. It's a hallelujah. Thank God I never got it. If I got it, I would have made it into something. Yeah. Yeah. So when we ourselves laugh at our own efforts, that which is on the day of laughter is also now. Do you believe if you heard you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha? If you hear that as Paul, so Paul's sitting there, and it's the living reality in this event. Paul is what everything is built around. And here's Paul, you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. So how would Paul's head translate that? One way it would say, oh, I'm doing something wrong using Buddhism to try to attain Buddha nature. Sounds close, yeah. So I'm using the Buddha in a weird way through Buddhism to gain something, all the while being the Buddha ourselves, which isn't noticed, yeah? You're still saying, you're reacting to the statement from Paul, and the statement is to the Buddha, yeah? So the statement is to the Buddha, hey, Buddha, you can't use yourself to find yourself. But the head intervenes and says, Paul's hearing that, and watch its reaction. And you're not that. That's the beauty of these statements. The beauty of the statements is what gets confused? What does the German Shepherd move? It's not you, you see? That which is familiar and just very, very complacent in your everyday selfing, it gets a little bit, it goes on alert because something's getting close. So now the message gets through the Buddha. Yeah, it gets to the Buddha, and Buddha hears it and goes, yes, exactly. Why would I use myself to find myself? Fucking, that moment could be the end of seeking in your life. Spiritual seeking, could be. It was pretty close here. Yeah. Where the whole thing dried up like that, like very fast, dried up and never was given water again. I never saw it as a garden that I should water ever again. I saw it as a producer of weeds, actually. Yeah. I saw trying to arrive at where you already are is a big boo-boo in a sense. Yeah. And I was just steamrolled over by the power of it. And then I felt like an unspoken yes. And I knew it before knowing. I just knew it, what I was hearing finally, before knowing. Now, all of those things, the aha and then the reactions after the aha, those are the things that were put out to dry by living this message, by hearing it. All the clothing of the emperor was put out to dry. You could see the emperor had no clothes. Yeah. And what happened? A real loss of interest, a true loss of interest, not loss of interest in another way of siphoning more interest to self, like the interest of being a non-self as a self. No, a loss of interest, like a migration of the bulk of interest and attention that I didn't know was fixated on a point already. I didn't know my interest and attention didn't find this idea of Paul and find it very interesting. It was sort of directed there by the head. The head directed the interest and attention on this manufactured reference point. Yeah. I had no idea. I didn't see it happen. I just started living from there as if that's the only thing I'm living from. Yeah. And then perhaps there's a better way or a different way or any way or no way. Yeah. And every time, every way, every possibility would be neutered by what was claiming to be the hero of it. I watched it. Yeah. Yeah. You went to the satsang and now you went there was you that's going to satsang. And then the identity as a drug addict slipped off and now you had an identity as a spiritual seeker. Yeah. It was like skin color just changing. Yeah. But sooner or later, you're going to hear it. And that hearing is going to get through the defense mechanism. And you'll realize you're in the tiger's mouth. You'll realize that. And you would think you would be really afraid of that, but it's going to bring a great ease and comfort. To know that no matter what you do or don't do doesn't change a fucking thing is awesome. This is, to me, spiritual irrelevance is awesome. Yeah. Egoic irrelevance is a drag. People do, yeah, but irrelevance in this topic that you can't fuck it up, you can't make it better. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's such a relief. It's a relief that you never even knew you were burdened by. You never even knew. You thought you were burdened as the real burden. Yeah. The thing disguised its heaviness by thinking other things were bringing heaviness to it, but the selfing is a heavy thing. You've got to shrink everything down so that you look bigger than it all. Yeah, it's got to do weird shit. It's a myopic view. Yeah. And yet what's behind it, that large camera, like we had that old thing where we used, when you were overseas, they had these cameras that were cardboard box with a plastic lens, and you would get them. There was only one roll of film, like you had 12 shots. And after they ran out, you just threw the camera away. You brought it to the pharmacy or wherever, and they developed the pictures. You didn't take it home, my camera, nothing. It was just thrown out, functionality, completed the mission, boom, boom. Yeah. And so here we are, and you are this huge camera, 360-degree HD audio. You have moving tripods, like all-terrain tripods. You can go everywhere. It's an incredible vision. And you're walking around this place, and you see one of these old cameras that someone didn't throw away, sort of like a non-existent thing. And then the large camera looked through it, and while looking through it, it seemingly forgot itself and took itself to be the cardboard camera. Yeah. And now it's trying to make sense of some shit that can't be made sense of. All the panoramic views gone. It can't even see what it's taking a picture of, the plastic lenses. You just hopefully point and see. Yeah. And it has this vague that it could be different, but it's constantly being snuffed. It can only be different as the cardboard camera. There was no possibility of being free from it. You're it. You are the cardboard camera. Yeah. So what does it do? It remembers its own inherent nature, and it hopes that, and in a weird mimicking, it goes and tries to buy a Nikon lens to put on the other lens with the hopes that it's going to help see things. Yeah. And you pay $4,000 for this incredible Nikon lens, but unfortunately, there's a lens before it, which is the plastic lens. The Nikon lens does not take the place of the plastic lens. It's put on the plastic lens. And your Nikon viewing is interpreted through the plastic. Yeah. So you see the failure of trying to become what you already are, this camera. Yeah. Saddled with this idea that you're this cardboard camera with absolutely no sniff about it could possibly not be. It's incredible, really. And now you're enslaved with trying to become a better cardboard camera with a lousy lens. Lousy shit, and only 12 pictures. So you gotta keep repeating. You got to keep refeeling. You got to keep redoing things because you don't have an infinite amount of pictures. You got 12. So your whole life is seeing only from the past, literally, as the Course would say. You're refeeling, rethinking, redoing over and over again. It's just a loop going on. And they should have been developed years ago. Then one day, a person you run into looks right at you. You think the cardboard, but it doesn't talk to the cardboard. It says, it talks to the Buddha in you, and says, big camera, you're not the small camera. That's all that the big camera needed. And then suddenly it moved away, which it could have done from the beginning, but it didn't believe it could. Yeah. It was going to be very painful. But no, it just stepped aside, stepped back, and now it finally saw the little camera from the panoramic camera. Yeah. Bammo. Yes. That which was always realized was realized by seeing it wasn't the small camera. Yeah. There you go. We're just playing that trick over and over again, 20 years now. Yeah. Nothing's changed. If you don't see this, you're looking from it. If you don't see you're not the small camera, you're going to be looking from it. Just that simple. And you can try to become a big camera. You can study everything about the big camera. You may even believe that you had an experience of being the big camera, but you always will be seen as the small camera. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I rest the case. I throw myself on the mercy of the jury. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyone here? No, of course not. They're just waiting for the cafe to open. Yes, I understand. Yes, it's getting cold. The body is unhappy. That's funny. All right. Anyone here? No? If not, you have any questions? Anyone? Hard time seeing.
You got a question for Paul? Raise your virtual hand or wave at the screen. We'll call you in. No, nothing yet, Paul.
Oh, great. Fantastic. You know, when we were doing live, at times we had 13-minute satsangs. Sometimes they were getting smaller and smaller. Yeah. Because obviously the transfer of this message doesn't take any time because it hasn't gone anywhere. We're not trying to plant a seed in. Yeah. Not trying anything. We're just hopefully what you think may be distant and far and based on a lot of requirements, we're trying to sort of, for a second at least, have that all erased and realize you are what you're looking for. Yeah. You are what you're looking for. Of course, it's not going to be how you think because how you think isn't what you're looking for. And how your thoughts describe things, you're actually not looking for that. You're not. You're not looking for a description. You're looking for something that could describe the description. Yes. And here you are. Can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. Can't use mind to seek mind. You can't use light to seek light. What has the head been doing all this time? Using the Buddha to seek the Buddha, using mind to seek mind, using light to seek light. Do you think you're going to rehab that? No. Yeah. This is not AI, it's programming. You've discovered the program and the programming has failed. The horse is dead. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone? No? All right. Well, let's start saying goodbye. People are getting the body, everyone's moving into the sun, but I'm not a body. Don't worry about it. It's not you moving into the sun. Do you realize that? You're not choosing to move into the sun.
Hey, Paul,
whatever receptors with light come, when they aren't working so well, you move to where the light is. How could that be seen as you? Events happen, deeds are done, yet there's no individual doer thereof. What greater description of everything here? Empty phenomena rolling on. Yeah. Yes.
Paul, David Lowe has his hand up. He just raised it.
All right, David.
Come on in, David.
So I just, it's amazing. I had this understanding. It was like another subtle step in the right direction. So there's not a barrier, is there?
No.
There's this more and more subtle failures to realize that your mind can't do it. There's more and more subtle screw ups until, unlike a graph to infinity, more and more subtle screw ups until but there's not a barrier. I
It's
can't.
not the first one either, bro. You could, because right now, that day you're going to be laughing, that thing that triggered the laughing is now. So, yeah. And this isn't about humbly. I feel there's a critical mass where that plays the role of the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. You see, and then something cracks. Yeah. That could be first time, well, how many times? It doesn't matter. Inevitably, it cracks. Yeah. So there's an awareness of it, and then that thing that you were aware of, and the thing you were aware of, the thing changes in a way, or there's like a disappearance of its fucking whatever, or sort of like you see how the head had days compartmentalized as Mondays, Tuesday, and all these frames for all these different things. And then you see life is a mural. It's just pouring over each frame the head wants to put in, and each border, and each this, and each weight. It's just, it's like trying to block water. It just runs all over it. Yeah. And you start, these things accumulate, and they bring about, just like sort of if something had the urge to move and you held it every time. There was a great story. I'm going to use this one. It's a story I heard in martial arts. And the story was this emperor at this one time in China decided he was going to have a giant event where they were going to find out the greatest martial art person. Yeah. So all these people with all these different things met, and they all demonstrated their power and whatever. And then this one guy came out, very old guy, and all he had was a sparrow in his hand. And he stood there with the sparrow. He stood there for 5 minutes, bowed, and then left. And so the whole 3 days it's done, and people with bronze rings, everything. And the emperor comes out with his conclusion. They bring the old guy out. And everyone's like, what? That fucking guy could throw him across the room or whatever. Nothing. And he says, and no, most of the people aren't getting it. And so the emperor goes, pray tell my, and the guy says, all right, so the sparrow was wanting to take off every second, but his sensitivity, he would yield. And so there was nothing to push off. So it looked like the sparrow was, yeah. But every time yeah, and this is like non-duality. When the head wants to take off, it just drops. Disarming, disarming, disarming. So the sparrow was not caged. It just couldn't go because of his sensitivity. Just sat there because it needed something to push off, to take off. And he was yielding. Yeah. So in a way, this is the disarming of non-duality. Yeah. So the disarming is going to produce something after a while. Yeah. Yeah. It's not just disarming and then you make it a practice. It's disarming to a point, and then maybe there's no call to arms anymore or whatever, at least with this topic. Yeah. Like I was surprised in AA, because I got sort of struck sober. And as it played out over time, I couldn't believe it, because the way, if I could have conceptualized how it would turn out, it was not even close. because I lost the urge that was in those thoughts and in those feelings. Something took out the engine of those thoughts and feelings that drove me to drink and use. I couldn't imagine that ever happening. Something, so I haven't had a strong thought or a strong feeling in 37 years. And I had those thoughts and feelings every fucking day driving me. Mind-boggling. Yeah. And the same thing with the effects of non-duality. You can't explain them, but you're living them, which is awesome. And then you may come to an idea of calling it like traveling lighter, because that's the best you can get to it. You can't put a finger on anything, but there's a lot of loss of interest in putting fingers on everything. Yes. You're not thinking I got to write down this thing because I'm going to lose it. Part of this whole place is about gaining and losing every day. Yeah, that's how it goes. And ultimately, the lightness is the true basis. Gain, lose, gain. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go, David Lowe. So yes, I humbly believe you're onto something, David.
This also, of all the satsangs I've ever been to over a lifetime of seeking, this is the first one where I've never taken notes. I guess that's a good sign.
Yes. Fantastic. Yes. Yes, exactly. There's a faith in that. See, faith is demonstrating itself quite a lot. I feel when they talk about Nisargadatta, there was great faith in the person that the message came through and the message. And that was more than enough for Nisargadatta. He just totally believed what the person was saying and just triggered it being available. Yeah. What was that but faith? Yeah. And maybe taking notes. What is that? That's faith in the intellect, let's say. Yeah. So there's faith behind everything. Sometimes faith is in, it doesn't need evidence. Yeah. You know, your head is like a forecaster, and there's a nature of the forecaster. It likes to shorten anything good and lengthen anything that could possibly be bad, so to speak. So if you're having a great time, it gets suspicious. When are they going to find out? I don't deserve this. But if you feel a little bad, you think it's a lifelong depression starting. Well, how many experiences of that do you need? You've just seen the whole principle of it. How many more examples that have to pile on until you realize there's something that's resisting the knowledge, because the knowledge was in the first movement. If you look at the thought system is happening now, but it's about yesterday and tomorrow. That should fucking set off red lights to me. Yeah. One system going on right now, which is occupying a lot of the mental space, is not about now. It's about yesterday and tomorrow. It's like I'm a hoarder of past papers and forecasts with no room to breathe in this mansion. Yeah, because all I'm hearing about, basically, as the Course in Miracles says, if you have a course, look at the first 7 lessons. And the 7th lesson says why the first 6 lessons are true. And they make the statement, you're seeing only the past. We're re-feeling, regretting, re-anxieting, re. Yeah. The head's programming lives on a past bias, which just keeps getting projected onto the moment of this conscious contact. Knowledge of it doesn't have value unless it leads you to realizing something. Like self-knowledge avails you nothing, but knowledge of self is incredibly valuable. Because if you have knowledge of self, you will get that there isn't one. Yeah. There's an assumption, it's implied, it's insinuated, it's believed, that's definitely true. You're a thing and you're always going to be a thing until you die. But no, it's shaky ground it's on. That's why it has to constantly keep repeating over and over again, because it knows it's not true. Yes? Yeah. Watch it. How do you get to I am Paul? I was Paul. I will be Paul. Yeah. You don't arrive at self. Yeah. You come to it by past and future. I was, Paul. I was. Do you mean all these thoughts? I never was a thinker of one of them? Yes. That's what we do. We believe that. Yeah. If these aren't my thoughts, whose are they? Well, they're shared, bro. Obviously. We got the English version. They shared. They are. The same thoughts and how they're heard in your head is the same way they're heard in my head. The whole difference is the personalness. It's Paul's or Tommy's. But if you could see what's running in your head, it's very similar to what's running in everyone else's head. Yeah. And yet every reaction to it is uniquely personal when it's a common shared event. It's insane. It can only happen here in dreaming. All right. Anyone else?
Don't see any other hands, Paul. Great talk, man.
Buddha's had a rough day. The Buddha, I'm looking at him. He's got worked on bad. But he never lost his mudra. He's and even in this condition, it's in a teaching posture. It's teaching me something.
Yeah.
Beware of Lola. Look at her. Look at her now. She's like the queen. She's got two things laying down, waiting to eat the Buddha. All right. Hey, thank you, everyone. I'm going to start saying goodbye unless someone wants to say anything. Hey, Kevin G, thank you for your donation, bro. Yeah, thank you. David Lowe, as always. David, I love seeing you, Dave. Yeah. Yeah. Some of us need a dumbed down version. Yeah. We gotta take our eyes off the stars and look at the gutter, the dog shit awareness. Oh, look at that poll. That's pretty good. Yeah. Jamie and Barbara. Nice to see you, Jamie. Barbara. Florida, John. Thank you, John, for helping out today, as always. Mary Champagne. Lovely to see her last week live. Mr. Hiram, always a pleasure. You'll be back soon, huh? Hiram? I think I don't know where he went. Stephen. Nice to see you, Stephen. Angelica, it's a pleasure, honey. Chris H, as always. We got Mike C. Nice man to know. Marl, I'll be in back east, Mike. I'm not going up to Boston area, though, I don't think. Marl, as always. Roman Mueller, my main man. Jesse in Ireland. Nice to see you, Jess. I think I missed your birthday somehow, or I just forgot now. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you, and happy sobriety birthday.
Yes, very stoked. Yes. I'm an old timer now. Yeah. I got Antil. Did I get that right? Antil? Yes, close. Thank you. Chris down in Kentucky. No, come on, get out of here. No, don't eat. She's eating the money now.
Oh, she went for the bone.
Oh, went for the bone. Oh, the bone. Arturs. Stick with us, Arturs, for a while. Marinate in the satsangs. Yeah? Yeah. Barry. Nice to see you, Barry. Have I met you before?
No, sir.
No. Well,
First
nice to
time.
meet you.
Thank you.
Robbie Ray. Yes, I've met Robbie Ray here. Annette in New York. I'm going to see Annette probably in New York, I hope. Ryan. Mr. Vlad, my main man in Portugal. Nice to see you. Rainers, did I get it right? Oh, here's Hiram. Hiram, when you coming here? Well, let me know. Give us a call.
Yeah, I'm coming Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, wow. All right.
Soon. Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you soon then, eh? Good.
Yes.
Matthew, UK. Chris Gilmore. Nick, nice to see you, Nick. Let's stay sober today, eh? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let me go to page 2. We got Lori. Ah, nice to see Lori very much. Miss Volkman. Anja. Eric. We got Erin B. She's got a nice hat there. Kerry, nice to see you, bro. Walter with someone there and a dog or something. Oh, wow. Or is that Kerry? Does Kerry have another life in Netherlands? Walter. All right. I can't hear you. Gotta say something.
My name's
Can't hear.
Jenny. Oh, okay.
Now I can hear you. Now.
Okay.
Ugh, we've got summertime over there. We've got a different time, so I'm actually at the end of the meeting.
Oh, well,
Well,
that's
anyway,
usually corrected. You'll be here on time next week, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, this happens every year with many people.
Yeah.
very nice to see you.
Yes, thank you. Nice to meet you, hon. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Chris. I think John K. There he is. I didn't miss him. Dennis. We got Brian and Annette, Robbie. Hey, thank you, everyone. If you didn't get anything out of it, that's great. Yeah. Just see what reacts to it. Yeah. Yeah. And greet it with not you. What's the big deal? If it's true that it's not you, you won't be saying it that long. Yeah. It's when there's a denial of something, you've got to say it constantly. But this is a truth. So the not you is just a way of formalizing it. But after a while, you're not saying it not you. You're just seeing it not you. Yeah. You're aware of it as not you, which is awesome. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Everyone,
Bye.
yeah, I'll see you guys.